Welcome everyone. We're going to take a journey together to reflect on just one single ayah. It's literally a life-changing blueprint. We're looking at the second ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah.
ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Your heart. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt just completely lost? In our world today, it's honestly so easy to feel adrift. We're constantly overwhelmed, right? Endless distractions, endless scrolling on our phones, anxiety about the future, and this constant shifting of what society tells us is right or wrong. Our minds are racing nonstop, but somehow our hearts still feel empty. We desperately need a reliable guide. And that is exactly where the Quran steps in. It's the ultimate, intimate solution for our chaotic daily lives.
The ayah kicks off with this incredibly powerful declaration, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ, meaning this is the book. Now, notice the absolute certainty there. It doesn't say this is a book, it says the book. This brilliantly shows us that the Quran is a fixed reality. It's not just some academic text meant to gather dust on a shelf. It is your personal, practical blueprint. When the ground beneath you feels like it's shaking, this book is your solid ground.
And then the ayah immediately continues, La rayba fi, about which there is no doubt. Think about how powerful that is for a second. Every single day, our lives are just filled to the brim with confusing decisions, shifting truths, and so many doubts. We doubt ourselves, we doubt the choices we make, we even doubt the people around us. But right at the very beginning, Allah is telling us, here is your anchor. Here is absolute certainty. When the storms of life are raging all around you, you can hold on to this without a single shadow of a doubt.
So you might be wondering, who exactly is this guidance for? The ayah says, Hudan lil muttaqin, which means a guidance for those conscious of Allah. And this introduces us to the absolutely beautiful concept of taqwa. Now, taqwa isn't just some distant, overly complex religious term that's only reserved for scholars. Not at all. It's an everyday, completely attainable mindfulness. It simply means being profoundly aware of Allah in your daily actions. It's kind of like the necessary key, the exact mindset we absolutely must bring to the table to unlock the true guidance of the Quran.
To really wrap our heads around taqwa, let's look at this famous, just beautiful conversation between two of the Prophet's greatest companions, Omar bin al-Khattab and Ubay bin Ka'b. Omar asked Ubay, what is taqwa? And Ubay replied with a question. He said, have you ever walked on a path that has thorns on it? Omar said, yes. Ubay asked, well, what did you do? Omar replied, I rolled up my sleeves and I struggled. Basically meaning he walked super carefully, making sure to protect his clothes and his body from getting snagged. And Ubay looked at him and said, that is taqwa. Isn't that just an incredibly vivid image? Carefully navigating a tricky, thorny path.
Now, we might not walk on actual physical thorns very often today, but let's be real, our lives are full of modern thorns. Every single time you open your phone, there are the thorns of social media temptations. You know, that constant pull to waste time or that urge to compare your real life to someone else's highlight reel. In our workplaces, we face the thorns of unethical business practices or the temptation to compromise our core values just to get ahead. And even in our own homes, there are the thorns of ego, anger, and impatience in our relationships. Taqwa is carefully navigating these moments. It's protecting your faith and your character from getting caught and torn up by the world.
So here is the crucial question. What would actually change in your life if you remember to just roll up your sleeves every single morning? I really want you to imagine that transformation. Imagine how it would change your marriage if you carefully avoided the thorn of harsh words during an argument. Imagine how it would completely elevate your parenting if you navigated the thorns of frustration with real patience. Imagine the absolute peace you'd feel in your heart during a hardship, knowing you are walking carefully, deliberately toward Allah. That is the true power of God consciousness.
Let's make this incredibly practical because we want to apply this right now. Here are 3 simple steps you can start using today. Step 1. Begin your day anchored in certainty. Remind yourself every morning that there is absolutely no doubt in Allah's plan and guidance for you. Step 2. Pause and roll up your sleeves before reacting. When you feel that anger rising or a temptation calling out to you, just take a breath. Be mindful of those modern thorns. And step 3. Make this beautiful ayah your daily compass. Let it guide your decisions, elevate your habits, and help you become the best version of yourself today.
Because ultimately, the Quran is not just a book to be read, it's a reality to be lived. Surah Al-Baqarah Ayah 2 is calling out to you right now to drop your doubts and embrace a deeply mindful, purposeful life. So let it anchor you today. I challenge you to reflect on these words, apply this teaching during your most difficult moments, and please share this beautiful message with your family and friends so we can all grow together. May Allah grant us all the mindfulness of the muttaqin and fill our hearts with His unshakable certainty. Thank you so much for joining me on this reflection.